All right. Thanks for coming back to the Bigfoot Society podcast. We have a special bonus episode this time, and we have Mr. Tate Hieronymus back. One of our most popular episodes has been with Tate Hieronymus, who is now down in Florida. Correct, Tate?
That is correct, and sadly, yes.
Sadly, yes.
I will never get tired of dissing Florida.
Yeah, there's a lot to diss down there, right? If the listeners haven't heard the other episode you're in, which they really should go check that out because that was a good one. Go ahead and tell a little bit about who you are and how you relate to the field of Bigfoot and all that good stuff.
Well, I'm Tate Hieronymus. I try to be a filmmaker or aspiring filmmaker, if you will. I grew up in the Midwest from Missouri, Iowa area, and then moved out to the West Coast. And then that's how I kind of got involved with Bigfoot. Then I got involved with the Bluff Creek Project. They're the ones that rediscovered the Patterson-Gimlin film site. And they kind of that's kind of everything in a nutshell, really.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. If there's also Tate has his own podcast with the guys, the Bluff Creek Project podcast, which is fantastic. You should go check that out too. Good stuff. There's an episode of myself over on that one as well. But exciting news. Tate wants to share a little bit about, he's got a project going on. This is a project by yourself, correct? Like is this through the Bluff Creek Project or is this through Tate Hieronymus?
No, this is through my personal name, not really connected to anything.
Very cool. Very cool. It's called Uncovering the Truth of Sasquatch. So tell me a little bit about what you mean about the truth of Sasquatch. What's that about?
Well, there's like different things people think, or what, there's different things people think of Sasquatch, what they are, and, if they're a natural being or, kind of some kind of spirit or alien or whatever. So I kind of want to go around just talking to people about what they think a Bigfoot is or what they think a Sasquatch is. And part of it is another reason I want to do it is if people are seeing something, if Bigfoot's fake, then what are they really seeing?
That's true.
And so I kind of want to go across, at least from coast to coast. That's the plan, and interview different people. Because if it's just one thing, then why is it happening everywhere?
Exactly. There's that's a really good point, Tate. It's like, if this is all coincidence, then man, is it the best planned coincidence ever?
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah. I'm excited to see what you do with this. If you go over, so Tate is raising money for this film through GoFundMe. He's got a page over there for Uncovering the Truth of Sasquatch, and he's got a trailer up. You should go check out. It's pretty cool. Like the first time I watched it, the guy that you have for the narrator brought me back to watching documentaries as a kid, like those old PBS like nature documentaries. Very, very cool narrator. So, I mean, that alone has got me pumped. And like, tell me a little bit more about. So you're getting some pretty cool drone shots in this. Is that correct, Tate?
Yeah, that's the plan. So the trailer that you mentioned, I kind of threw it together when I was up on my Portland trip. That's some footage I took and mixed with some. It was mainly new footage, all that in the trailer. And so basically the idea was to just put something together to get people looking forward to something, and that would hopefully help people want to donate some money to something. So they kind of get an idea of what they're expecting. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit more well put together because I was on the plane. I can only use my iPhone and another camera, but that's the trailer and kind of what to expect. And yes, as far as the drone footage go, I'm still not done filming this. I mean, I still got lots of plans, some more drone footage ideas to use, and so there's some cool drone footage coming up in here in this film. So just expect more of that, more drones.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. So It sounds like was that so the trip out to Portland, if you follow Tate on social media, it was out to the North American Bigfoot Center, correct? You're hanging
Yeah,
out with the guys out there.
yeah, I
Is
was
that
hanging out with
is
Connor and
okay?
Cliff a little bit. Yeah,
And that's with the in preparation for this film, or is that kind of separate thing? Or
it's both. It's in
okay, cool.
preparation for the film and just because I wanted to go see the museum. And I had
Yeah.
some friends that actually moved from Kansas City out to Portland, so I
Oh,
was
really?
visiting them. So it was kind of like
Oh,
it was a mix between personal and part of the film project. So
I like it. I like it.
kill two birds with
Uh,
one stone.
yeah, and you have an exhibit in the Bigfoot Center, right?
I do. I got an interview with Bob Gimlin
Yeah.
that with help with the Bluff Creek project. Um, and to my knowledge, and even Daniel Perez, the author of the Bigfoot Times, nobody else really has an interview with him at the film site like that I do.
Wow, that's really cool.
And so the idea behind that interview was like I wanted Bob to stand in front of the landmark of the film, which there's a few of them, but one that kind of sticks out is you got the log in the foreground, and then in the background you got the biggest tree ever, kind of behind Patty. So I was like, "Hey Bob, can you stand in front of this big tree and I can get an interview with you?" And he said, "Yeah, happy to do it." And so there's 6 minutes of the full interview that's not public. The only place you can actually go see it is if you know me and I send you a private link,
Nice.
or if you go to North American Bigfoot Center in Bourne, Oregon.
Oh, really? That's the only like place for like to actually see the whole thing. That is really cool.
Yeah, so
Unless, yeah,
I thought I'd give it to them and they can use it since
I love that.
And Cliff, I talked to Cliff when I was there. He's like, "Yeah, this is probably one of their more popular things there too." So
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that's
that's super
very
cool.
cool. Um, so I enjoyed seeing your photos, and there's a there's a certain photo where it looks like so you guys went out hiking out in the woods during this filming. Is that right?
Yeah,
Have any cool stuff happen out there?
I do got a
Maybe.
funny story.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm leading you into it. So
well, I'll just bring up the disappointing news. Nothing happened, unfortunately. But that's Bigfooting most of the time. Nothing does happen.
Right.
You gotta, you just gotta. It's all about the. What is it? It's all about the. Not about the destination. It's about the journey, I guess.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
But no, it was other. Besides nothing happening, it was a fun hike with Connor and and I enjoyed it. I'm so out of shape, honestly. If you want to know how out of shape you are, go hiking in the mountain.
No, that's true.
It'll show you how out of shape you are. But the funny thing the only action that happened was I ripped my pants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
I saw
was
that
it.
picture.
Yeah, you saw the picture. Yeah, that was about the most exciting thing that happened.
It's a good rip too. Like this isn't just a little tiny rip, Tate. Like you ripped them good, dude. Like
no, I might as well just not have been wearing pants at that point.
it's true. That's true. How far away from civilization were you when you had like your pants ripped crazy?
I don't know. We hiked maybe a mile-ish.
Oh wow.
That. Man. They were kind of in between that. So about half a mile or whatever it was. Half of whatever we were. It was at least a good 20-minute walk back.
Okay.
With ripped pants.
Gotcha. Oh,
man. And it was raining. And
of course. Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
Expect the unexpected out in Bigfoot. You might hear a call, you might rip your pants.
It's a toss-up. It's a 50-50. Either you're gonna get a sweet Bigfoot call or you're gonna rip your pants. So it's up to you, kids. You could like roll a D20 or something. But
so
it
was kind of my bad. I didn't wear the right pants. They weren't stretchy enough.
That's true. That's true. They do have special hiking pants that are like outdoor research or you don't super expensive stuff.
Going looking for Bigfoots. You don't know.
No, definitely not. To kind of go back to the uncovering the truth of Sasquatch. So it looks like So you can go to the page, watch the trailer, and then, you know, kind of give what you feel led towards the film. Looks like you have a goal of about $10,000. What kind of, is it a thing where you have to raise the money first, or you're going to be starting to film stuff as you're raising money, or what's the plan with that, Tate?
So yeah, I definitely wanted people to know. Well, the way GoFundMe works is you have to raise the goal to get that money.
Mm.
And if you don't get the goal on GoFundMe, you don't get it at all.
Uh-oh.
So
okay,
the GoFundMe is to help speed up the process. I mean, if people want to give,
Yep.
they can. They don't. It doesn't matter. It's just going to take longer.
Right.
And as far as crew, you're looking at them. I'm the only one.
Totally.
I'm doing camera editing and script writing for the narration, and then it's just a lot of work. But yeah, mainly the goal is 10,000. That's to help speed it up, to help for the paying for the trip. And I was talking to the guy that did the narration. We were like, yeah, 10,000 is a good medium. It's not too much, so it's not too little. And it's just, you know, who knows if I'm ever going to reach it. I probably won't, but it's worth a try.
I say you go for it.
You know what?
Totally.
You don't know until you try. Yeah.
That's right. If you listen to the other episode, which you should go listen to it, you never know unless you try, and then you'll find out other things that Tate has been able to have happen because he tried talking to certain people. I'm not going to spoil it. Go listen to it.
Listen to it now.
Not right now. After this.
Oh, go after this.
So can you? Yeah, wait until this is done, then go listen to it. Are there any? Can you share other things that might be in the movie, or I don't want you to give everything away, but maybe people you might be trying to talk to, or is there anything you feel comfortable with sharing more about the movie, I guess?
I don't really feel like uncomfortable sharing anything about it.
Cool.
I can share all I want, but I think visually it will be better when you see it. Like,
I love it. Yep.
Visually, it's going to be awesome. That's my goal.
Okay.
But some things that I'm going to have in there, as I struggle with sleep paralysis, like we talked about last time. So one of the things I really wanted to find out is if there's a correlation between sleep paralysis and Bigfoots. Like, because you never know, because people are like, they're in sometimes native holy lands where Bigfoot activity does happen and something weird happens when they're sleeping or they have a vivid dream. But that could be a simple sleep paralysis, or it couldn't. Who knows? So that's one of the questions I want to talk about in the film. And then I told you about, I'm kind of giving everything away on the other podcast, my thermal video. I never got to do a proper recreation of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so totally. Okay.
I'm going to cover that in my film.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, this is cool because that's where the drone's going to play in too. Because you've probably seen pictures of my thermal video in the daytime. I want to show like the video of the sighting or the actual sighting location in the air on a drone.
Oh, cool.
And try and film it and have somebody run in there. It'll be explained later, but
yeah. That sounds really cool.
There's a second there. I pull the FLIR down, and people are like, maybe he had someone stand over there, or maybe somebody ran. You know, whether he had the FLIR down, because there's always that question if he's faking it or not. So basically, I'm going to have to recreate the video on the FLIR exactly the same way. And have somebody stand next to me, and have somebody flying the drone, then have somebody try and run and make it by the time I pull the FLIR up, and kind of do the video side by side, and you kind of get an idea of what happened.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I like that. Will this be the first film that has tried to look into sleep paralysis and connecting it with Bigfoot, or are there other things out there, other books, or is this maybe be the first thing?
This might be the first thing that I'm aware of. I don't think anybody's really touched about it on the idea of being connected with Bigfoots. I don't know. I mean, they're always talking about ghosts and everything, and people think sleep paralysis is like seeing ghosts or whatever. So I don't know why people never thought about it. But I personally, I don't think it is connected. I just think I think sleep paralysis is just a natural thing that happens and people suffer with it. You know, kind of like having nightmares in the middle of the night or sleepwalking, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And if someone, how do you easily, what's your small summary of what sleep paralysis is? How do you easily explain that to someone who might not be familiar with it?
I guess the easiest way to explain it would be your body is asleep. And so the reason you can't, you don't get hurt in your sleep is because I'm not like a professional, I'm not like a scientist or whatever. But basically, you don't get hurt in your sleep because the way your body it shuts off, so you don't roll over or fall off your bed and break your arm. So sleep paralysis is kind of like your mind is awake, but your body is still sleeping in that sleep mode. So something doesn't flip a switch right in your brain, waking every part of your body up. So you can see things, but you can't move, and that's why you feel that pressure on your chest because you're still in that sleep mode. And so some people will kind of hallucinate with it, and some people won't. It just depends on who you are. Yeah. And so that's why I want to do the sleep processing because you're hallucinating. Are you seeing like ghosts or demons or Bigfoots or whatever? You know?
Yeah. Right.
But personally, I've had sleep paralysis and I've seen things. It's nothing demonic or anything. It's just natural. So I say no. But if you have that sleep paralysis episode when you're in the middle of Bigfoot country, you would write it off as, oh, there was a Bigfoot out my tent. I saw something. When really, no, it could just be sleep paralysis. That could just be the one time you had it.
That blows my mind, dude. That's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy.
And like the thing that triggers sleep paralysis is Bigfooters, I would think would tend to get it because things that trigger sleep paralysis being up irregular nights and hours, you're fluctuating. Yep. If you drink a lot of alcohol or sugar before bed, sleeping on your back will trigger it. So all those combinations, I think it's very interesting and something I think that should be worth looking into or that hasn't been talked about that I really want to cover.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Like that will be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Did you have any other when you went out to Portland, did you go in the actual town of Portland or just to where Boring is, or did you actually go into Portland?
I kind of just went to Portland with my cousin. Kind of, he's kind of like my cousin by, he was not blood related, just marriage.
Sure.
The only time I went to Portland really was to get like breakfast food or we went to a couple breweries with some friends. As far as what I was doing in Boring, it was just mainly just the museum, and then Connor took me to show me a place that I can't say, but it was cool. Privately, I can probably say, not publicly. That's just how Bigfooting is, man. They don't want you ruining their spots.
Well, here's the thing. You don't want to ruin the spots because then the Bigfoots go somewhere else because everyone goes to the spot, right? Like,
well, like a good example, it's funny because Bluff Creek is probably one of the most well-known spots in the history of Bigfoot.
Right.
And the thing is, I mean, not to spoil it for anybody, but spoiler alert. It seems like the activity in Bigfooting in the Bluff Creek area has gone down.
No.
And I think because of that, they don't really make a lot of sounds or noises.
Yeah.
Because people go there every year, especially around the 20th, and there's Bigfooting people going Bigfooting out there. So I think they're not very vocal or active as far as like doing wood knocks. But I do think they're there still, and they will come around at night. They're more quiet though.
Okay. That's interesting. So maybe they're just a little bit more skittish around that area.
Exactly, or they're just kind of like wise to our act. So they just
they'll
still come around and check you out, but I just don't think they're going to make a lot of noise. And if they do, who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy. So you mentioned you're down the Florida area. Have you gotten into any cryptid stuff down there? You gone looking for the skunk ape or done any crazy stuff like that?
No, some people I want to interview for my film and try and get out is Stacy
Mm-hmm.
Brown.
Oh yeah.
He's one of them. I want to try and get Lauren Coleman in Portland, Maine.
Totally.
He's on my goal, and
Mm-hmm.
since I'm from the Midwest, I'm gonna do some Midwest stuff. So I'll see what's going on there. Some
Mm-hmm.
Bluff Creek stuff again.
Yep.
And then my thermal site, and that's everything in a nutshell. But
Nice.
that's kind of what to expect. Like I said, I can tell you everything, but I think the film will seem a lot cooler than me telling it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's cool that you're coming on, you're telling us about this now. So then everyone can go check out the GoFundMe. I'll have the link in the show notes for this so they can check it out. And then how does GoFundMe work? Is it a thing where like you give like 5 or 10, or you pretty much just type in whatever you want? Or I've never
yeah, you can give like $1, you can give like $10, you can give 100, you could even give the full 10,000 if you wanted to. I mean, it depends on how
20,000
or 20,000 or let's go nuts. Let's go 1,000,000.
Let's go nuts, dude. So I would imagine that GoFundMe is taking a cut of it. So keep that in mind.
I think people can take like a percentage they want. I don't know how it works either. I just know if you don't get the goal, you don't get it at all. I mean, you could have like $9,999 and the next day's your deadline. You don't get another $1. You don't get it. You're like, how was that?
Right.
Which is kind of dumb.
Well, dude, I'm totally looking forward to this. This is awesome. Is it I don't know if we covered this yet. Do you have a goal to have it done by, or is it a thing like when it gets done, it's done as I get these interviews in, or do you have an actual like set date? It's got to be done by this time.
Well, I'm getting back up to Bluff Creek in July, and that's the only time I probably can.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know when I'm going to get to Maine because, like I said, that's another reason I'm doing the page because I actually don't have a job right now, so I'm kind of just doing what I can to make money to go anywhere. So it'll probably be if I was ever to get the funding for it, it'll probably be at the end of 2021.
Okay.
Somewhere maybe around October or November. And if I don't, it'll probably take longer. So that's why I said, like, if you see the preview, it says 2021 or 2022. So it could be early 2022 or late 2021. It all depends.
Cool. Well, I'll definitely be looking forward to it when it is when it'll be worth the wait. Definitely. So go check that out. Anything else that I need to ask you about the film that I may not have thought of? Anything else that you want to share, or do you think we covered it pretty well?
I think we covered it pretty well. Awesome. I mean, people want to support it. That's up to you. No hard feelings, honestly. Either way, I'm going to still make it, and it's going to be a fun experience.
Totally. And Tate, what are ways that people can follow you? Your, social media, anything else that you've got going on?
So the main one, if people really want more updates, Bluff Creek Project Podcast on Instagram, all one word. And that's where I'll be posting a lot of that stuff, so people can keep updated there.
Awesome.
Very in my YouTube, the trailer is on my personal YouTube page, Tate Hieronymus. And for those who don't know how to spell Hieronymus, it's HIERONYMUS.
Oh yeah, Tate, we need to cover just in case they haven't listened to the other episode. Are you related to the dude?
Am I related to Bob Hieronymus, the guy who claims to wear the suit in the Patterson Gimlin film? No, I am not.
We should have put that up at the beginning, but that's fine. Yeah, so no relations, so don't worry, guys. It's good stuff. So
not related,
but Tate, thanks for coming on again. Always a pleasure. I think we'll be talking to you again in the future to get some more
Oh,
updates about this
maybe
film.
if
Have
I
a
don't
good one,
die.
man. I don't think you will.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later, dude.
Thank you.
Yep.